Let's see how to integrate Omniconvert Reveal with Klaviyo and how to send Omniconvert Reveal customer properties into Klaviyo. The first thing you need to do is go to Store Settings, Integrations, Klaviyo Integrations. And we see we need to get from Klaviyo the API key, from email, which is the email address that all your emails are leaving Klaviyo, and from name. So let's go into Klaviyo now and go into Settings, API Keys, and create a private API key, which we will name Reveal. And we'll have a full access key. Create. Copy this key and go into Omniconvert Reveal and paste it. Now let's get the from email. So going back into Settings, Contact Information, Organization, you get to see here the default sending email address. And this is what you're going to copy and paste in from email. And the name of your shop. And save. And that's it. The integration is done. However, we still need to send Reveal customer data into Klaviyo. So let's see how to do that. The next step is going into Store Settings, General, in the Export section. We have here Export General Settings. And we're gonna edit this section. And this is where we can enable the customer profile Klaviyo export. However, we don't want to do this just yet. So let's see what we're gonna do now. We are gonna add a customer profile contact email. This is an email address. It should be yours if you're doing this integration because you want to test it and you want to see what's happening. This is an email address where you would be receiving any error reports. Any day something will go wrong, if ever something will go wrong with the export or sync of Reveal customer profiles into Klaviyo. So I'm going to put my email address in here and I'm going to save. And I'm going to leave this disabled. Going back into Store Settings, General, Settings for Klaviyo customer profile. Editing this section. You see here customer list ID. However, what we recommend is that you don't create a customer list ID, and a very important aspect would be that you don't use an existing customer ID because in about 24 hours, all Reveal's contacts, all Reveal's profiles will actually be populating that list. So if you're having any campaigns or flow running from that list, imagine the big mess. So what we recommend is that you just leave this space here empty, and you have here an option to export a test customer profile to Klaviyo. If you see this button is not active, that means that either you did not set a valid email address in the previous step, and you can go back into Export General Settings quickly just by clicking this link, or that the integration with Klaviyo was not done, which you can quickly go by clicking this link. So let's export the test customer profile to Klaviyo and see what happens. You will notice two things happen. Let's just refresh this. Okay. Omniconvert Reveal already created a list in Klaviyo, and we will find it by going into Klaviyo, going into Lists and Segments, Reveal Customers. This is the list that was created today. And in this list, you will see one profile, which is a test profile, and it is for the email address that you included there in the settings part. The second thing that Omniconvert Reveal did is it already took this list ID and set it in Omniconvert Reveal. See, it's right here. So what happens next is that in maximum 24 hours, all the profiles that you have in Omniconvert Reveal will be exported into Klaviyo. The contacts that are already there will have enriched profiles, so you will actually see a lot of data coming from Reveal. And if Reveal doesn't find a contact with a specific email address that is a valid email address, it will create a new contact. For this, what I recommend, and that's very important, is to go into this list settings and just make sure you click on single opt-in and update the list settings. This is very important just to ensure that not all your contacts will be receiving the next day an email asking them if they want to be a part of that list. And there is one final step that needs to be done, coming back into Store Settings General. Remember how we didn't enable the export? Okay, this is the time to do so. So we're going to go back to Export, General Settings page, and click Enable for Customer Profile Klaviyo Export and save. Great. Now let's see how a profile will look. And we're going to imagine 24 hours passed already. Great. 24 hours later, going into Profiles, and let's just select a random one and have a look. In the right part, in the information part, you will see all the properties that Omniconvert Reveal is populating. And everything that starts with Reveal or RVL is coming from Omniconvert Reveal. And you will see it's a pretty big list. Now, these are customer properties that you can use either in your segment's definition or as triggers for campaigns and flows. You can combine some of these properties with other properties from Reveal as well, or with properties that are coming into Klaviyo from, I don't know, your Shopify platform, for example, or any other tool that you have integrated with Klaviyo. So what you will notice in here is that you have a total spending and total profit, and you have a lot of information about the RFM. So besides the RFM score and RFM group, you actually have the individual recency, frequency, and monetary scores. So you can combine all this information in any way, or you can actually perform a split, let's say, in a flow based on one very specific score. What I would recommend is to check the article that we have in the description of this video as a link, and you will find detailed information about all the properties that you can find in Klaviyo's contacts now.